Lights, camera, toe-curling pun about action games. We're shining a light on the underground indie action scene in this video, from unsung one-person projects to games that are bigger in scale that might still have escaped your gaze on Steam. Action is a pretty broad genre term, so we're casting the net wide this time to bring you side-scrollers, asymmetrical multiplayer games, shooters, horrors, and the games that just, can't be put in a box, man. On with the show. Maybe the first 3 CALLY'S Caves games flew under your radar. Not to worry, we're pretty sure you'll catch up in CALLY'S Caves 4, an action platformer in which every button press feels so perfectly timed and weighted that it's scientifically impossible to suppress a faint grin. There's a bit of Commander Keen in here, just enough to relive your gaming youth if you're a certain age, but in truth it's a far zippier and more refined mechanical experience that holds up to any modern platformer. And okay, the story isn't quite Tolstoy, but you come back when you've played it and tell us you're not at least curious about what'll happen in number 5. We dare you. This might be one of the best video game concepts for years. A multiplayer setup where everyone spawns as adorable little rabbits, and one of them's in control of an enormous death robot, and is therefore the de facto dictator of the map. Here's the thing though. The objective is to earn as much money as possible, and whoever's in control of the robot earns 10 times what their floppy-eared slaves make. Social allegory. Excuse us. So, from within the bullet-spewing searchlights for eyes robot, you issue orders to the others, and you can pay them to fulfill them too, which means there's a good chance they'll do it. At least some of the time. All the while though, you know they're plotting your downfall, waiting for the second you're not looking to slip from their collar and bolt towards your robo entrance. It's our favourite social experiment meets multiplayer game about rabbits, and we're not just saying that. A journey through Norse mythology through the medium of beautiful hand-drawn art. Of course we're on board. That is our kind of thing. But JOTUN is very much its own game, throwing boss fights and puzzles based on constellations at you with equal aplomb, in a world rich with aesthetic pleasure and ancient legend. Oh, and you'll definitely fall in love with the ancient Norse language JOTUN pours into your ears, like sweet honey. Think of it like a cool subtitled Ingmar Bergman movie you can impress pretentious people with your knowledge of, but that also lets you wail on massive Norse gods every now and again too. An action horror with surface level similarities to that Dishonored 2 level with all the trick walls and the more psychotropic passages in Remedy's Max Payne games, Albino Lullaby is quite the experience. Developers Ape Law resolutely refuse to throw jump scares at you, instead weaving the horror into its environments using notes, sound design, subtle narrative implication and, alright, some scary ghouls every now and again. A major draw in Albino Lullaby is the plot, which we wouldn't dream of spoiling for you, but suffice to say you'll find yourself imprisoned after a serious car accident and then freed by some technical hiccup. As for where, why or how, trust us, you just don't want to know. Part exploration through a virtual memory database, part high-octane action game and part horror, Master Reboot knows how to aim high. It's the kind of game that just plunges you into its world without a word of explanation or a tutorial pop-up, because it knows that's the best way to get its hooks in. And when you do start to make sense of the world around you, the true scale of the game's ambition becomes clear. You're in the Soul Cloud, a digital space where people upload memories so that they can hang out with their loved ones after they die. Oh, and an antivirus program's gone rogue in there, so you're in tremendous danger. Toodles! Okay, yes, Lovely Planet is plainly a shooter. But when you break down the superficial genre boundaries, what says action more than running around and shooting stuff? Ask yourself, would John McClane like this? The answer, if you could put aside Lovely Planet's name and wellspring of kawaii, is a resounding yippee-ki yes. Despite all those cheery colours and soft edges, this is a lightning-fast game akin to Quake, daring you to move ever faster through its expertly curated runs and rewarding success with, well, even trickier runs that place greater demands on your reflexes. Eventually, Lovely Planet induces a kind of FPS trance, in which you're no longer really thinking per se, just twitching and clicking in harmony with your surroundings. What a wonderful world. There was a time when HACKYZACK was only the preserve of hemp beanie wearing college students enjoying their 10th year on campus, and the select group of master gamers who actually figured out the controls on California games. But with the arrival of HACKYZACK from developer Spaceboy Games, all that's changed. The objective's always simple: get the HACKYZACK to the golden target area. But with each new level, your skills as a free-spirited keepy-uppy enthusiast are put to ever sterner tests. Soon, you're bouncing off every object in sight, pulling off feats of slacker sporting prowess that smug Gen Xer in California Games could only dream of. That wraps up our list of indie actions we've been digging. Were they on your radar? Let us know in the comments below, and don't be shy about offering up your own recommendations either. We love to hear about undiscovered gems. For more like this, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you know when we make a new video. We'll catch you next time.